And also Anatoliy Svyryd and Mykhailo Kazarenko. He's a volunteer and president of the Institute for Social Development. Dear friends, the floor is yours. Good morning. I'm very pleased to present you today the beginning of our program, the generation of the future, focused on the kids of those who were injured or died in ATO. Unfortunately, the realities of our lives are we had the new category of traumatized people. There are kids, and we, using the experience of developed countries, USA first of all, we had the category of those requiring help. I think the psychologists will understand me best of all, because kids who got such a serious trauma, if their relative died or was injured, and as you understand, the life of the whole family changed. These kids can't have this pain or even offense to the community inside. And community should give them help, first of all, psychological help in this situation. That's why we had the idea of such rehabilitation program for psychological rehabilitation of these kids. My colleagues will give you more details about psychological component of this program, but I would like to stop on the description of the program itself. We got documents for 40 kids of this category. Their age is from 10 to 17 years. 2/3 of these kids are the kids of died people. The rest are of injured. The kids will have the possibility for 2 weeks under surveillance of professional psychologists and therapists to stay in the resort called Chervona Kalina in Zhobry village. Briefly about this program. Alongside with the medical procedures, the psychologists who will work with kids we also prepared for them entertainment program, sports events, educational. We also foreseen English classes every day, different master classes, quest and as entertainment, because we want these kids to forget this problem for some time. And the psychologists at the same time will be doing their work. And also I would like to remind you, and my colleague will tell you more about it, the big amount of money was done from other countries to the renewal of the psychological state of adults and kids. If we don't work with these traumas now, our country will lose money in the future, and these people themselves will have huge problems in the future. And I'm very pleased that this program exists. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that it's not state program, because during the preparation of this program we face numerous problems. But now I would like to thank the people who made this program happen. First of all, it's Mykhailo Kazarenko, the president of this Institute for Social Development, because he is an ideologist and driver for this program. He's the fuel of this program, but he will tell you himself how he managed to accumulate the money for this program. Also, Ukrzaliznytsia helped us with our project. They helped us with railway tickets to this resort and back. Also, we got help from the NGO called Help for Ukrainian Army, represented by its volunteer and head of this organization, Vladimir Gladyshev. Also, I would like to tell about the director of this Chervona Kalina resort who cooperated with us and who did everything possible to make the stay of the volunteers and kids comfortable. And also this program is completely volunteer. All people working here get no money, get no salary. That's why I would like this program to be useful for its target audience. When we finish it, we will tell you how useful and good it was. But I hope it will be useful for kids. And also, I would like to tell you about the problems we had during the preparation to this program. As we found out, in Ukraine, there is no unique database where we could have contacts of these people. Because any sponsor, any donor wants to contact these families directly. There are a lot of charity organizations, NGOs, organizations, unions, but any of them have their own database and they don't really want to share it. As for me, this is a problem. I think we should have some unique database in the country. And also it should be single social politics directed, focused on the different categories of people. The most important categories are moms from the families whose husband died. They were not angry, they were sad. They told that the country forgot about us. In the best case, family got some compensation, but the life goes on and people need other help, other support. So it's worth to start thinking about preparation of social workers, of psychologists, because they will have a lot of job, plus there will be additional vacant seats. And there is a requirement of those who need these services. Also, there should be some funding, because if we give money for some song festivals, even if the songs are patriotic, I think we should have some funding for such families as well. Now I would like to give the floor to my colleagues who will give more information about this program. Anatoliy Svyryd joined us. He is a cyborg. He's a volunteer and the head of the NGO Hearts of Cyborgs. Yes, after I returned from the war, from the hostage, I, together with my brethren, organized an NGO called Hearts of Cyborgs. We are just partially metal, but it's not just our sacred debt, it's also sacred debt of all the society, to support these families, to support these children and parents. Because there are a lot of parents already who lost their sons, who keep asking what for my son died. There is such question. It's very important. They are completely forgotten. If the wives and kids somewhere somehow, especially next to some anniversaries, are remembered, including media and other sources, all other time, almost nobody will remember about them. And what previous speaker told you, why NGO don't want to share the information? Because they don't trust anybody. They don't believe anybody. They believe just just the brethren, their sons, parents, and husbands were fighting with. That's one more problem, that people don't trust the authorities, they don't trust officials. If we are one country, we need to help each other to return this trust. I would like to thank passionate people who sometimes live 1,000 kilometers from us, but they are trying to help the families and kids of fighters who lost their feeders. Our country still has some possibilities, but people unfortunately don't share it voluntarily. That's why I would like to send diaspora and all other passionate people who are trying to put efforts to let them families to feel defended and not forgotten. Thank you. Thank you, Anatoly. And now I give the floor to Olga Protasova, psychologist, trainer, volunteer, deputy head of the management board, philanthropist of Ukraine. Good afternoon. I'm psychologist, pedagogist, trainer, volunteer. We work in our Kyiv hospital for 2 years already. We also take care of Zhytomyr military hospital. I work directly with our fighters injured, with fighters, with their families. I know deeply our situation happening in these families, how children are suffering. Children, first of all. I would like to thank our diaspora and all people who joined such a nice initiative for our kids, for their psychological rehabilitation. Because we know that stress can't go itself, it will be kept inside the person. And in some time it will be post-traumatic syndrome after the stress. What is it? It is stress breakdown. It's national emotional reaction to the events. It's normal reaction of human body for some abnormal events. Post-traumatic syndrome influence to the people, especially to the kids. The kid can become closed. It can become aggressive. Vice versa, it can go in, he can go inside themselves so deep that it would be almost impossible to speak it out. Also, it can be nightmares. These kids that will go to Chervona Kalina, they lost dads. They live in such far away villages that nobody cares them, and officials don't care them as well. I would like to thank all NGOs who are trying to support these families, who help them with money, who helps them, who gives them more moral and psychological support. I would like to thank our diaspora one more time, who organized all that. My colleague will tell you more about this process. What are we gonna do there? As Larysa told you already, there is a very good range of classes for kids. There are psychological training. There will be art therapy. It's looking from the point of view of the psychology. It's very important and it's very useful. We should take kids out of this psychological state they are now, because my colleagues psychologists, they work in different directions, and all of them point out that most of kids have post-traumatic syndrome already. And not to have it chronic, we will work with them during 2 weeks. And even the change of the environment is already positive. It's already positive change.
And now I'd like to turn the mic to one of my colleagues. Thank you. Thank you. The floor is given to Mykhailo Kazarenko, volunteer president of the Institute of Social Development. Good afternoon. I would like to tell you a bit about that part of the organization, this program which took place in the United States. The matter is, we did not invent anything new. Such program has been in existence in the United States for more than half a century. Following the end of the Vietnam War, we just tried to start to translate such programs to life here in Ukraine. And by virtue of the public will in New Jersey, the people were gathering in the cultural center. They actually created the Skype bridge with Cyborg, Spartanian, and they actually paid their own money. They took the money from their own pocket. It depended how much they loved Ukraine, and they did it from the bottom of their hearts. We have such a credit union from New York. This is our major contributor, public organization, the Credit Union America. Some individual donators like Natalia Bender, the relative of the Stepan Bandera, Stepan Shmila, and she became the well-known analyst, financial analyst, and other contributors and donators. The matter is that in the United States, on the governmental level, for many years, as I mentioned, if we are talking about non-governmental work, any open opportunity position, which people can occupy having the equal terms and conditions, be it even a private company, the application makes provision for the such the answer of the record. Have you been a veteran of any war, including Vietnam War, or the members of the families? And such people have the priority, enjoy the priority in any kind of program, either the kind of the benevolent charity program or the public assistance programs, social programs talking about, or this is kind of governmental position, or the work in the private companies. So the government, without any extra funds, have reserved for such people the certain conditions of social adaptation, and then in case of the money for their social readaptation. I think without this, the future cannot be even imagined. If the people are going to just to take to drinking, or become the alcoholics or the drug addicts, or to become too aggressive, and sooner or later lose their control and become members of the criminal groupings, this will be much more expensive for the government or the society to deal with that. I believe that if this program is going to be implemented on the professional level, and if we can in the future have some kind of partial assistance on the part of the government, I'm talking about the financial or other assistance, we are going to repeat the same program during the holidays in the fall. Unfortunately for the children, we can offer this program of assistance rate to just 40 children, and I hope that in the future we'll have an opportunity to help more children who actually need this help. Should you have any questions, I'll be happy to take those. We've been joined by Tatiana Vynogradova, member of the political party Pravy Sector, the Right Sector. Sorry that I joined you a bit later, but I absolutely can echo what has been said by the previous speakers. I would like to inform you that the Right National Liberation Movement, the Right Sector, is directly involved in such functions. In particular, the program which was offered to us by our colleagues. We plan to nominate some of the educators, members of the right sector. Now we would like to involve the fighters of the Pravy Sector grouping for them to communicate with the children and share their experience in the civil defense. In general speaking, for the second year now, we've been involved in the working with the young generation, and we are very much grateful to this mission for the fact that they provided another opportunity to present our Ukrainian children some happiness, some joy, and some minutes of the peaceful sky, so to say, which is very important today. And I believe a lot of those who follow the situation well in Ukraine and the Ukrainian society, they do realize that economic problems can be overcome, the social problems can be resolved, but it won't be possible to resolve the psychiatric or mental or psychological problems in the Ukrainian society just by snapping the fingers. We have to exert maximum efforts in order for the Ukrainian community to survive this war, and we hope that this war is not going to last a long time. And we believe this is a duty of each citizen to exert maximum efforts in order for the Ukrainian children to grow not psychologically, let's say, hurt, not by the potential mudsheheads, but they be healthy, who continue our Ukrainian nation and will actually multiply our cultural heritage, which we can be proud of. Thank you, colleagues. We have time just for one question. If any, you're welcome. Please introduce yourself. Larysa Kadurina, Channel 5. Could you please tell us how many psychologists are involved in this process, and have they come through some additional trainings, or maybe the American psychologists shared their experience with them? In other words, how they're going to work with those children professionally. First of all the people who are going to involve are top-notch professionals, and I will turn the mic to my colleague. As far as I know, there are two psychologists who are resident psychologists, and they read Guelder Rose. I came through two trainings, and our American colleagues were coming here, and also our the psychologists from Israel. I additionally took the courses they offered to us, how to work with the IDPs and the children who lost their parents. So everything's going to be done at a very high level. How it differs from psychological approach with the adults. Children, there are specific entities. They have different, let's say, mental organization. I don't think that there is a big difference in the approaches applied for the children or for adults. But anyway, children belong to the category of the human beings which require very, very, let's say, a very specific attitude, and we have to offer them some specific psychological training. Thank you very much. If anybody have any other questions remain, please, you can do that beyond the boundaries of this audience.